All right, let's go. It's time for another edition of Post-University Basketball, and this time it is time for the playoffs, the CACC Quarterfinals, right here at the Drumner Center on the beautiful campus here at Post-University in Waterbury, Connecticut. The men's team will be first, and then the women's will be right after at 7:30. The men's come into this one as the number 2 seed in the North Division in the CACC at 19-8 overall, 10-6 in conference. And for Wilmington, who is the opponent today for the Eagles, the number 3 seed in the South Division, they are 16-12 overall and 9-7 in conference. As we welcome you inside to the broadcast booth, Griffin Cass on hand. So glad you could be with us here on the CACC network. All the practices, all the film sessions, all the road trips, all culminating right here in this tournament. It all comes down to this, as Wilmington is in the black uniforms and Post, they are going to be in the white uniforms. Let's take a look at our starting lineups for both teams. We'll start with Wilmington. The Wilmington Wildcats out of Wilmington, Delaware, head coached by Dan Burke in his 10th year. He graduated from Caldwell back in 2008. Their starting lineup is an expected lineup that they have gone to for the majority of the season. Number 1, Skip Burton. Number 4, Talib Holloman. Number 10, Caleb Matthews. Number 23, the first team All-CACC selection, Amiri Stewart, number 23. And number 25, the big fella, Malik Beasley. And for the Eagles, their starting lineup that they have gone to in recent memory in the past few weeks, Deng Dieng, Quest Harris, Robert Sanders, Bola Cotton have all started in every game that they've appeared in, and Harrison Warnock will be making his 12th start of the season. We are ready to rock and roll here at the Drumner Center. So glad you're with us here on the CACC network on this Tuesday evening CACC quarterfinals edition as Post, the number 2 seed in the North Division, and Wilmington, the number 3 seed in the South Division. We are ready to rock and roll. Dieng and Beasley will jump it up at half court. Again, Eagles in the white uniforms, Wildcats in the black uniforms. Head coach for the Eagles, Mark Kuntz, in his 7th season as Dieng wins the jump ball, and the Eagles will have the game's first offensive possession. Wes Harris swings it to Akant. Bull drives on that baseline, kicks it back out to Warnock. They swing it around to Harris on the left side of the perimeter. Use a screen from Warnock, finds Dieng. Now Dieng's 3 is short, and Caleb Matthews will get called for the push in the back foul, fighting for that rebound with Robert Sanders. So Eagles will take it under the basket. And these teams met on February 10th right here in this building. The Eagles won 80-78 in an overtime thriller as Dieng finds Harris right off of the out-of-bounds play, and Quest Harris finishes the deuce. Eagles strike first. As Amiri Stewart is doubled, throws it ahead to Matthews, and the Wildcats settle it down here in the front court. Wilmington was up 60-49 with 4 minutes and 54 seconds left in the second half in that game on February 10th. Matthews will get up the first shot for the Wildcats, and it's nothing but net from 3. Caleb Matthews, a graduate student, averages 10.3 points per game this year for the Wildcats. Here's Akot. Pass deflected and nearly stolen by Stewart. Akot retrieves it near the timeline. Now he drives, stops, kicks, Warnock triple. Dieng hits it out last. Holloman and Dieng fighting for the ball right there. And the Eagles show this full court pressure. Matthews gets it into Skip Burton. And he brings it across the timeline with Holloman, who drives right at Harris and finishes. Talib Holloman, the senior, was 9th in the conference this year in points per game. Averaged 15.1 points per game this year in his senior year as Dieng gets it back out to Akot near the timeline. Akot drives, leans in, back out Dieng. Chiseling his way, and the float game is off, and it's hit out of bounds. Last touch by Beasley. Last touch by Beasley, so it'll be an under the basket out of bounds here for the Eagles. 5-2 Wilmington, 18:09 to play here in this first half. Harris to trigger. Throws it into Bull, who puts it on the deck. Warnock going at Beasley. Back out. Harris drives on that baseline, leaves it for Dang Dieng, who had it poked away. Beasley, the interception. Now it's ahead to Holloman, ahead of the field. Leans in and banks it in. Back-to-back buckets for Talib Holloman. And an auspicious 2 minutes and 15 seconds for Wilmington, up 7-2 here to start. And this Wildcats team, they had the lead for the majority of that game on February 10th. The Eagles were able to just claw back with 5 minutes left in the game and outscore them 13-11 in the overtime period. Sanders, who was third on the team this year in points per game, steps back, fires the three. Eagles 1 for 5 from the floor here to start. Wilmington 3 for 3. As Matthews triggers it into Holloman. They settle it down here with Burton. Matthews, he can shoot it. Don't want to leave him open. Sanders closes out. And he almost coughs it up. Stewart, who was third in the conference this year in points per game. Nylon, it's a three. Myrie Stewart, a first-team All-CACC selection this year. Averaged 17.4 a game for the Wildcats. Here's Warnock putting some muscle into his hustle as he carves inside for two. A 6-point lead here for the Wildcats. A little over 3 minutes gone in the opening half. Holloman. He's got 4 points here. Pass deflected by a cut. Stolen away by Harris. 3-on-2. Harris down the lane. And one. First subs off the bench for the Eagles, Kyle Alsey and Taquan Williams will be getting the shooter, Quest Harris. Warnock out as Harris, the 5'11" junior from Lowell, Massachusetts, played 2 years of college ball with Sacred Heart in Division I and making the switch to Division II this year, his first year with the Eagles, as he can't hit the free throw to complete the three-point play. Dean the rebound. Sanders, Alsey doing work on the offensive glass as Kyle Alsey has taken a back seat here as he's been coming off the bench in recent weeks, but he's still contributing on the boards. Average 5.3 rebounds per game this year for the Eagles. Matthews, triple, short. And Alsey the board. Sanders off of the screen, the step back Jay, kaboom, it's a three. Rob Sanders, who was third on the team this year in points per game at 10.9, knocks down back that big three. One of the best shooters in the CACC this season, shot 36% from the outside, and the Eagles regain the lead. Stewart straight on, back iron. Long rebound. Off of the long shot out to Burton. Here's Matthews coming off of the screen. The closeout by Sanders in time. Nice hustle there by Sanders. Coughed it up. Ball on the deck. They're playing Twister and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Wilmington. And Williams, Taquan Williams that is, will check in. Not before the timeout. 15:04 to play here in the first half. Eagles on a 7-0 run here to put them up by 1. It's 11-10. You are watching the CACC quarterfinals in men's basketball, and it's on the CACC network. Coming out of the timeout here, 15:04 to play in the first half. Eagles on a 9-0 run. Wilmington started out up 10-2, but the Eagles have settled into this one, and they're up 11-10 as we welcome you back out of the timeout. CACC quarterfinals here at the Drubner Center. Eagles the 2 seed in the North Division. The Wildcats the 3rd seed in the South Division. Okay, Griffin Castle on hand. So glad you're with us here on the CACC network. Here at the Drubner Center on the beautiful campus at Post University in Waterbury, Connecticut. The Eagles, a little bit of a miscommunication there on the out-of-bounds play under the basket. Williams throws it out of bounds. It was intended for Dieng. On the floor here for the Eagles, Alsey, Sanders, Williams, Akat, and Dieng. Same 5 on the floor here for the Wildcats with Stewart, Matthews, Burton, Holloman, and Beasley. Stewart, the first team All-CAC selection, gets inside. 1-2 Euro, lay it in, number 23. Wheeling inside for 2. Amiri Stewart averaged 17.4 points per game this year for Wilmington, 3rd in the conference, to earn him that first team All-CACC selection. He had 20 points right here at the Drubner Center on February 10th in that 80-78 win for the Eagles as Dieng, baby hook, can't get it to go. Alsey the board, back up, and in. Nice little 8-foot jump shot there by Alsey. And the Eagles go back up by 1. As Stewart races into the front court, takes it inside, goes right into the chest of the defense, and draws the foul on Alsey. So Amiri Stewart, the junior, stands at 6'4". Has been the catalyst for this Wilmington team all year. He was 8 for 8 from the foul line in the game on February 10th. Knocks down his first free throw of the game here as Matthews checks out, and into the game for the first time for Wilmington, it's Lay Carter, and the sophomore from Meriden, Connecticut, Trey Duncan, checks in here for Robert Sanders, and Derek Thomas II into the game here for Deng Dieng on the Eagles side. Wilmington back up by 1 with Stewart knocking down both free throws. Here's the freshman, has his pocket picked, regains it. No. A.J. Carter, Skip Burton with some stifling defense there. And he gets the takeaway, and they get the foul on Williams. Wilmington 5 for 8 shooting here from the floor. Killer cross by Stewart, and he gets himself to the 10 for 2. Gives Stewart 9 points here, 9 quick ones, as he's 3 for 4 from the field. And you can see why he was a first team All-CAC selection. He is electrifying. Caught. It was a second team All-CAC selection. Picked up by 2, and nearly had it taken away there. Last touch by Burton out of bounds, and the Eagles will take it under the basket. The freshman will trigger into a caught. Got his defender up in the air. The midi is short. Alsey right there for the offensive rebound. And I believe we are going to get a foul called on the 6'9" junior, as Harris and Warnock will check back in. Akat and Alsey will sit. Wilmington will take it under their own basket. The Eagles show this full court pressure. Carter Inside, that's a pretty move all the way to the cup. A.J. Carter will not be denied. Excuse me, Skip Burton, pardon me. Nice. Warnock has it taken away. Beasley with the theft. Inside, baby hook, no. Stewart tip, back up, and fouled by Warnock. Stewart, who was 2 for 2 in his previous trip. He's got 9 points here to start. Rattles home the first of 2. Williams will check out, a comp back in on the Eagles side. Stewart, pinball's out, halfway down and out right there. And he's 3 for 4 from the free throw line. But he's into double figures already as Warnock takes his man off the dribble. Duncan the cut, the push shot. Harris's tip, no. Fight for the rebound. Who's got it? Derek Thomas the second. The senior has got it, but he throws it away, and Burton with the takeaway, and they get Duncan for the foul. As Sanders and Dieng back in on the Eagles side. Duncan and Thomas will sub out. Matthews back in. And Talib Holloman will get his first breather of the game. A 6-point lead here for the Wildcats with 12.5 to play in this first half. Stewart races into the front court. No way, he picks him up, and Sanders puts that one on hold like customer service. Swats it out of bounds. Yeah, nobody picked up Stewart there. He just went right down that lane, and Sanders was the last line of defense. A little pushing and shoving there between Sanders and Matthews. And the official getting in between them. It's into Beasley. The 2 first-team All-CAC selections guarding each other here. Dieng and Stewart. Stewart a long ball. Off right. And climbing the ladder for the board is Harris. He throws it into Sanders. Makes his defender miss. Goes inside. Has that one blocked, but a foul. Sanders will shoot a pair at the line. They get the whistle on the graduate student. And a little bit of a brouhaha after the whistle. And you can already bet that it's going to be chippy. A trip to the semifinals is on the line. What's at stake is very simple. You win and you advance, you lose, and your season is over. Obviously, neither of these two teams want that to happen. As Haram Alexander, the sophomore from Arlington, Texas, getting set to check in here for the first time for Wilmington. He will give Stewart a breather. Sanders 21 for 31 from the free throw line on the year. Knocks down both. Eagles within 4. Here's Carter on the drive, high off the window. His tip, no, gets it right back. Into the thicket of the defense, couldn't finish there amongst the trees. And we will get a jump ball. Alexander and Sanders fighting for it. And we will get our second timeout of the game. Dan Burke will call for time. 11:49 to play here in the first half. Wilmington 19, Post 15. You are watching Division II men's basketball quarterfinals playoffs here on the CACC network.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. on the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision.
Been a nice back and forth series of play here throughout the first a little over 8 minutes in this first half of the CACC quarterfinals. Winner goes to the semifinals, and the loser, their season is over. Harris, Warnock, Dieng, Akot, Sanders. Starting five back out onto the floor here for the Eagles. Alexander, Burton, Matthews, Carter, and Asher Kemble. The five on the floor, and there's an and one. Caleb Matthews skirting his way inside for the deuce and the whistle. He's got a three-point play. Off the heel on the free throw. Not able to complete the three-point play. Here comes the Eagles on the other end. They are 6 for 14 from the floor. Warnock nearly turns it over. They're playing Twister on the floor. And we get a jump ball, possession, Eagles. As Holloman getting set to check back in here. He will sub out number 1, Skip Burton. It'll be a side out for the Eagles. The Eagles nearly had their 5th turnover of the first half right there. Warnock back out to Cott. Drives it on that baseline. Sanders goes back door. Inside! Drops the anvil. Rob Sanders up high. Down hard. Throw it down, number 5. Woo! Holy smokes. Carter, the step back J, drew the foul on Harris. And Harris not pleased with the call there. Looked like a clean closeout, but the official obviously had a different angle. Carter, who's a senior, averaged 6.1 points per game this year for Wilmington. Knocks down the first of 2. Williams back in. Harris out. String music for Lay Carter, and that trip to the free throw line. Wilmington back up 6, 10:45 to play here in this first half. Williams, Dieng at the nail. Dieng likes the mismatch. Back out Sanders. And he's shut off nicely there by Matthews. Gets a post entry feed for Dieng. Elevates. And the jump shot a little too strong. Holloman fakes the pass. Thought about the shot. Looking for Matthews. Nice defense there by the Eagles. Swung over to Alexander. Takes Dieng on the drive. Trying to back him down. And Dieng says no, no, no. He consumed that one. Sends it back. One more. Akot. Didn't want the jump shot. Midway through the first half. Akot. Back out. Williams. Fouled on the 3. Aaron closeout by Carter. And Williams will have 3 free throws at the line. Quan Williams, 4th on the team this year in points per game. Averaged 9.2 in his freshman campaign from Brockton, Massachusetts. Thomas in, Warnock out. Stewart, the first team all CACC selection, back in for Alexander on the Wilmington side. Two out of three for Williams. Eagles within 4. Carter thought about the 3, takes Thomas off the drive, the cut by Holloman. Regains it. Matthews in the corner. Gets fouled on the floor there by a CACC. And it's going to be a 1-1. Wilmington in the bonus here with plenty of time in this first half. Skip Burton getting set to check back in for Wilmington. He will sub out Carter. Again, the Women's are coming up next in their quarterfinal matchup. They'll be facing Goldie Beacom. Tip-off slated for 7:30 as Matthews can't get the first and doesn't earn himself another. Jiang, top of the key. Thomas. Akot. Akot hesitates. Fouled on the floor by number 21, Asher Kemble. Got a packed house here at the Drumner Center, as expected, for this playoff matchup. It's into Akot. Faked on the J. Goes inside, off the window and down, and the foul. The junior from Manchester, New Hampshire, taking out his do-it-yourself kid on that baseline. As Duncan is back in, Sanders is out. And for the first time, we will see Bryson Williams. You don't want to let him shoot. He shoots it at a 40% clip from downtown this year. Subs out Stewart. Akot, who shot the free throw at a 73% clip this year, knocks it down to complete the three-point play. And the Eagles on a mini 5-0 run to bring them within 1. Burton. Matthews. Takes Akot off the drive, spinning, corkscrewing for the shot, and it's off the mark. Akot races into the front court, nearly coughed it up. Dieng's a trailer. How about a 3-ball? Thomas fighting for the offensive rebound, and he is fouled on the floor by Williams. Williams outmatched there in terms of size. And the Eagles are in the bonus, so it'll be free throws here for the senior. And for the first time, we'll see Caleb Hedgepeth, the sophomore from Wake Forest, North Carolina, check into the game here, number 24 in black. He subs out Kemble. Thomas ties it up. This next one would give the Eagles the lead. The Eagles are 6 for 8 from the free throw line in this first half. Make them 7 for 9 as Thomas is true on both. Williams, hounded by the sophomore. Dribble handoff with Burton. Here is Skip, skipping into the lane, high off the window and down. Saw a lane and took Williams to the tin for the deuce. Wilmington regains the 1-point lead. Dieng, backdoor, Akot, back to Dang, back out, Thomas, straight on, triple! Yes, sir! Fresh snow for Derek Thomas II. And the Eagles take a 2-point lead, 8-10 to play in this first half. Again, so glad you're with us here on the CACC Network. A packed house here at the Drumner Center for the quarterfinals in the CACC tournaments. Williams along that baseline. Gets it back out to the sharpshooter. He's a marksman. Nylon. It's a three. Caleb Matthews from downtown. And back and forth we go with 7:45 to play here in this first half. It's a 1-point Wildcat lead. Williams looks to take out his do-it-yourself kick. Gets all the way inside for two. So many lead changes here in the past 2 or 3 minutes. Eagles back up by 1. Edgepath back out. Holloman, one more to the corner. Williams has all day to shoot. Okot, Williams. And they get him for an offensive foul, as Harris, Warnock, and Sanders will check in. Not before we take a breather. 7:06 to play here in the first half. Eagles 29, Wildcats 28. It's the CACC quarterfinals, and you're watching it on the CACC network.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it?
This has been a tightly contested first half of play thus far. 7:06 to play here in the first half. And what might be the deciding factor is home court for the Eagles. They are 10-2 at home this year and only 7-6 on the road. So having home court here in the quarterfinals could prove to be very beneficial, as it is Sanders, Duncan, Harris, Warnock, and Thomas, the 5 on the floor here for the Eagles. Williams, Burton, Holloman, Veasley, and Matthews, 5 for the Wildcats out of the timeout. The shooting discrepancies from the field very similar. Eagles 10 for 20, Wildcats 10 for 21. Into Holloman. Brings it across that timeline. The 6'8" Veasley swings it. Holloman back to Veasley on the roll. Nice foul there by Harris, going straight up, but made a little contact. And he's going to make Veasley earn it at the free throw line. Veasley not a great free throw shooter at 61%. Clank on the first of 2. Okot in, Harris out, Hedgepeth in, Williams out on the Wilmington side. Veasley, a junior from Clayton, Delaware. 6'8". Gets the back end of 2 to even the score at 29.
Let's go.
Pass deflected out of bounds by the springy Holloman. He is super athletic. We were seeing him throw some alley-oops off of the wall behind the backboard in warm-ups. His head was at the rim. He's very elastic. Okot takes him off the drive. Back out Warnock. Now Sanders uses the screen, puts it up with the left hand off the heel, fight for the rebound. Wilmington comes away with it. Holloman, one man to beat, and Thomas went straight up. It goes back out to Burton. High arcer, short. And they say Thomas hit it out of bounds last. It appeared to the naked eye that Holloman hit that one out. Nevertheless, it will stay here with the Wildcats with 6:15 to play in the first half. Holloman uses a screen. The push shot off the window and down. Creative by Talib Holloman, and Matthews gets a steal and puts it back up and in. Defense immediately into offense for Kayla Matthews and Wilmington, and they go up by 4. Those are the costly mistakes for one of these teams that could prove to be the difference maker. I mean, the margin for error in the playoffs here is so thin as Dieng and Williams check in for Duncan and Thomas on the Eagles side. Under the basket, out of bounds here for the Eagles, down by 4 with 5:44 to play here in the first half. Dieng kicks. Back to Dang in the mid-posts. Across the lane. Had it poked away. Tries to regain it. And Burton secures it. A set play here for Wilmington. Burton gets a screen. Matthews pumps on the 3. Drives it, fades, and hits off the window. Caleb Matthews with back-to-back buckets for Wilmington, and they take a 6-point lead. Sanders turns that corner. Pass out to Akant. 10 on the shot clock. Akant fires and hits from the free throw line. Sanders pushes off the board, finds Dieng. A little too much hot sauce on that one. And Dieng cannot garner it. 4:15 to play here in the first half.
Let's go, yo!
Matthews met by Sanders. These two have been guarding each other for the majority of the game. Hedgepeth on the drive, high off the window, too strong. And Warnock the board. Under 4 to play here in the first half. Akant. Fake the dribble handoff and draws a foul on Burton on the floor. We'll take a media timeout. 3:49 here to play in the first half. Wilmington a 4-point lead.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision.
Coming out of the media timeout, 35-31 Wilmington. 3:49 to play here in this first half. It's been a balanced attack by the Eagles. Sanders with 7 leading the way. Thomas and Akant each with 5. And then Harris and Williams, each with 4. Dang Dieng, the Eagles' first team All-CAC selection, still has not scored. And for Wilmington, Caleb Matthews, he's heated up here for the Wildcats. He's got 12, and Stewart with 10. Those are the two Wildcats in double figures. A CACC, 1-1, knocks down the first. Matthews, Holloman, Veasley, Hedgepeth, and Burton, the 5 on the floor here for Wilmington. Something to keep an eye out for. Stewart has 2 personal fouls. He's on the bench for Wilmington. Dieng, Akot, Thomas, Warnock, and Sanders, the 5 on the floor here for Post. 2-point game. This is shaping up to be an instant classic. Here's Matthews with 12. Looking for 14 right there, and he's got an opportunity for points 13 and 14 at the free throw line. He has been spectacular here in this first half. He's got 2 steals to go along with those 12 points. Make it 13 as he connects on the first of 2. Lay J. Carter back in. Hedgepeth will check out. So a little bit of a small lineup here for Wilmington, with Matthews kind of playing that 4 position with Veasley out there as he connects on both, give him 14. And the lead back up to 4 for the Wildcats. They're looking for Dieng. They got it to him in the short corner. Still looking for his first bucket. Fades, leans in, doesn't get the roll. Back to Dieng, back up and in. And the first team All-CAC selection for the Eagles has got his first bucket of the game. Under 3 to play here in this first half. Winner goes to the semifinals. To Veasley on the roll. Up, missed it, got it back. Kick out, Holloman goes right into the chest of Dieng, and they get the foul on number 3 in white. Holloman will shoot his first free throws of the game. 9th in the conference this year in points per game at 15.1. A 71% free throw shooter. Duncan in, Dieng out. As Dieng just picked up his 2nd personal foul. Wilmington 9 for 13 from the free throw line. Make them 10 for 14 as Holloman is true on both. Lead back up to 4 for Wilmington. Winding down this first half. Dribble handoff here with Sanders. Uses the screen. Duncan the long 2. Nylon. Trey Duncan, the sophomore, Connecticut native from Meriden, ready on the catch and shoot right there. Matthews throws it ahead. Veasley back to Matthews off the handoff. Going down the right side lane, they get him for, no, not an offensive foul. Yes, they did get him for an offensive foul. The push-off. And Matthews picks up his 2nd personal foul. Alexander will check in. Wilmington has been able to have this lead with Stewart on the bench for an extended period of time. Eagles an opportunity to tie or take the lead. Sanders for the lead. Off the heel, and Burton the board. Under 2 to play in this first half. The CACC quarterfinals here at the Drubner Center. So glad you're with us on the CACC network. Alexander blocked by Sanders, gets it back. Looked like Sanders twice on the pipes right there. Might have gotten a piece of that second chance opportunity. And the shot clock resets to 20 with Carter's offensive rebound. Burton, quick drive. Tried to get some jelly action there and missed it. Thomas the rebound.
Let's go. Go deep.
Caught, met by Carter, and he's fouled.
Let's go.
The second team all CACC selection to the free throw line. The junior from Manchester, New Hampshire, stands at 6'1". In the 2020-2021 season, he played Division I basketball for the Quinnipiac Bobcats. Leaves the first short as the Eagles are in the double bonus. Williams in, Hedgepeth out. Burton, Williams, Veasley, Alexander, and Holloman, the five on the floor here for Dan Burke. Hot drills the back end of two. Eagles within one. Coming up on a minute to play in this first half. Holloman corkscrewing inside and missed the layup, but he was fouled. And Sanders having some words with Holloman after the fact. Holloman, second trip to the free throw line. 2 for 2 in his previous trip. Sanders, who has 2 personal fouls, will check out, and for the first time, we'll see Cape Holden check into the game here. Appeared in 18 games in the regular season, averaging 5.5 minutes per game. A junior from Trumbull, Connecticut. Holloman now 4 for 4 from the free throw line. And Wilmington up by 3. Under a minute to play here in this first half. Caught, Thomas, Warnock, Duncan, Holden. 5 on the floor here for the Eagles. Caught, turns that corner, gets inside, hangs and finishes. That's a tough move by Bull. And you can give him the deuce. Negotiated his way inside there. And a timeout called by Dan Burke. With 33.1 remaining in the first half, we'll step aside here for just a moment on the CACC network. Back out of the quick 30-second timeout by Dan Burke in his 10th year at the helm here for Wilmington. Bolicott now leading the Eagles in scoring. 3 for 4 from the floor with 9 points. He's also 3 for 3 from the foul line. Bowl was just named to the second team for the all-conference honors in the CACC. Bolicott, Holden, Thomas, Warnock, Duncan. 5 on the floor for the Eagles. Williams, Burton, Matthews, Veasley, and Holloman, the 5 on the floor for Wilmington. "12-second difference, shot clock to game clock. The poke, the steal, goes all the way inside and was blocked by Veasley, but Warnock is right there for the cleanup. Eagles take the lead. Shot clock is dark, and the Wildcats can take the final shot of the quarter, of the half, pardon me. Holloman carving his way inside off the window, too strong. Warnock fighting for the offensive rebound, and we'll get a jump ball. Possession Wilmington with 1.8 remaining in the first half. Burton will trigger under the basket. And 1.8 remaining. Into Matthews, turns, shoots. And that will take us to halftime. Eagles take a 1-point lead heading into the break. Bolicott led the way with 9 points. And we will be back after halftime. You're watching Division II men's basketball playoff action here in the quarterfinals in the CACC tournament. We'll be back after halftime.
champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
In NCAA Division II, student-athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student-athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student-athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
In a country where 1 in 5 people are affected by a mental health condition, it's time for all of us to step up and change the conversation.
We all have stress in our lives and manage it in different ways.
Grades,
finances,
practice,
family,
games,
finals,
homework,
playing time,
friends,
midterms,
treatment, studying,
sleep,
time for me.
We don't have to find the balance on our own.
It's okay not to be okay.
We're all in this together.
People can and do get better.
Caring about one another can be your competitive advantage.
Communicate.
Be aware.
Show compassion.
Be a champion for each other. Hope starts with you.
Hope starts with me.
Hope starts with us. We are CACC student athletes, and we are breaking the stigma.
The NCAA has nearly 500,000 student-athletes from more than 1,200 member schools and conferences. There are more than 19,000 teams competing for 90 championships in 24 sports across 3 divisions. Division II has more than 124,000 student-athletes from over 302 colleges and universities. The division offers athletic scholarships while balancing a collegiate athletic environment that encourages student-athletes to discover and pursue what they love. The annual NCAA convention is where Division II members implement new rules. Delegates from every school and conference gather to discuss and vote on each proposal. Each eligible school, conference office, and the Student-Athlete Advisory Committee hold one vote. New rules in Division II can originate in one of 2 ways. A majority of proposals start in Division II committees. Those groups, comprised of representatives from member schools or conferences, debate concepts and forward recommendations to the Division's Management Council and President's Council. The Division II Management Council reviews each proposal from the committees, makes recommendations, and forwards them to the President's Council. The President's Council, composed of college presidents and chancellors, is the top leadership group in Division II. Its primary function is to establish and direct general policy and strategic direction for the division. It is the only group within the governance structure that can sponsor legislation for a vote at convention on its own. New rules can also be proposed directly from Division II members. If 15 active Division II schools or 2 conferences sign on as sponsors, the proposal will be voted on by the entire Division II membership, no matter what position the division's committees and councils take. Through the legislative process, the Division II membership and its representatives enact change across the division.
All right, halftime is nearing its conclusion, and we are getting set for the start of the second half here between Wilmington and Post. Post leads at 42-41 here in the CACC quarterfinals. As we welcome you back inside to the broadcast booth, Griffin Cass on hand. So glad you could tune in here on this Tuesday night at the Drumner Center on the campus here at Post University in Waterbury, Connecticut. Bollicott, he led the way for the Eagles with 10 points in that first half. And for Wilmington, Caleb Matthews led the way with 14. Stewart and Holloman each with 10. What's at stake? It's very simple. Win and you advance to the semifinals. Lose and your season is over. Okot, Harris, Dieng, Sanders, Warnock. 5 on the floor here for the Eagles to start. Holloman, Burton, Beasley, Stewart, and Matthews, the 5 for Wilmington to start. And the second half is underway with the Eagles having the first offensive possession. The Eagles again 10-2 at home during the season. They shot 15 for 29 from the floor in that first half. Dieng, who only had 2 points in that first half, a first-team All-CAC selection, gives to Sanders now. Now it goes to the other wing. Harris, the quick drive. Couldn't cash in on the layup, and Beasley the board. Beasley 6 in the CACC this season in rebounds per game at 8 a game. It's Stewart, the first-team All-CAC selection, gives to Burton, who finds Holloman. Catch, shoot, triple, book it. Talib Holloman opens up this second half with a 3-point jack. And Wilmington takes a 2-point lead. Holloman 9th in the conference this year in points per game at 15.1. Warnock, no hesitation, got a 3. Answers right back. And the Eagles go back up by 1. Warnock has got 7 now. And it's settled down with Stewart. Throws it into the post for Beasley. Backing down Dieng, baby hook. Doesn't get the roll, gets it right back. Twice on the pipes. Malik Beasley doing work on the offensive glass. And it pays off. Dieng pulls the cord. The midi is in and out. And Stewart the other way. Gets all the way inside. Swatted by Dieng. The long rebound out to Matthews. Beasley will set for the 15-footer. String music for Malik Beasley. Not known as a shooter, but he knocks it down from the mid-range. Wilmington up 3. Harris between the circles, setting up the Eagles' offense. Gets this chest pass over to Akant, who carves inside. Has it poked free. Beasley with the theft. And Matthews will jog it into the front court. Had 14 points in that first half. The graduate student working and chiseling and drawing the foul. Sanders called for the foul as Duncan and Williams head to the scores table for the Eagles, as Sanders and Harris will sub out. Williams a freshman, Duncan a sophomore. Matthews back out. Burton pass up on the 3 and gets it right back to the graduate student. Takes it right on that baseline, backing down Duncan, putting him in the weight room and finishing the 2. Duncan nearly coughs it up, and they get Stewart for the foul. And that is his 3rd personal. Stewart with a funny explanation, and yeah, he's going to need to sub out here with 3 personal fouls. The last thing Wilmington needs is for him to foul out. Again, 3rd in the conference this year in points per game at 17.4, with just named to the first team All-CACC. Akant, midi. Short, long rebound out to Holloman. Duncan gets back, and Holloman lays it in. 7-point lead for the Wildcats. Holloman now with 13. Warnock triple. String music. And it's thrown out of bounds. The pressure in the backcourt from the Eagles. Duncan and Dieng causing the discombobulation from the Wildcats there. Harry Warnock now into double figures with 10, the graduate student. As you see that knee brace on his knee, had a few ACL surgeries. As Dieng, no hesitation, catch and shoot. And Holloman rips down his 4th rebound of the game. Hedgepeth into the game for Stewart. Burton, swing pass. Matthews, push shot, pure. Caleb Matthews is cooking on the offensive end. Give him 18. 7 for 11 shooting from the floor. Here's Williams bouncing it. Dieng drawing the foul. And we will take our first timeout here in the second half. 15:52 to play in regulation. Wilmington 54, Post 48. It is the CACC quarterfinals, and you're watching it on the CACC network. Back out of the timeout. A little over 4 minutes gone here in the second half. A 6-point lead for the number 3 seed in the South Division. Again, both the number 2 seed in the North Division. The winner of this game will face the winner of Jefferson and Felician in the semifinals. Again, Wilmington went 9-7 in conference this season. Post went 10-6. And it's Dieng at the free throw line. His first free throws of the game. It's been a struggle for the first team all CACC selection here in his playoff debut with the Eagles. Only 1 for 9 from the floor, 3 points. Make it 4 as he knocks down both from the free throw line. Eagles within 4. Williams, Dieng, Duncan, Alsey, and Akot, the 5 on the floor here for the Eagles. Holloman, Burton, Matthews, Beasley, and Hedgepeth, the 5 for the Wildcats. Burton sets up the Wildcats offense. It's Hedgepeth feeding it for Matthews. He is 18 here in the game. Beasley, 1 on the shot clock. They need to fire. Matthews does and hits. Woo! Caleb Matthews, a flamethrower. Give him 21. 3 for 6 from downtown, 8 for 12 from the floor. The graduate student is having himself a game. Dieng, Hezzy, drive, kick, Duncan, 3, short. Dieng the offensive board. Williams has some time, fires and hits. Yes, sir. Ring it up for Taquan Williams. Holloman down the lane, off the window, no. Rebound, Alsey. And he's fouled by Beasley on the floor. 14:29 to play here in regulation. As Harris will check in for Cott for the Eagles. Harris. Duncan. Williams, back to back. Beasley the board. 4-point Wildcats lead. Can Holloman make it 7? No. Off the back iron. Williams off the rebound. Duncan gets a screen. Williams resets. The step back J blocked. Hedgepeth with the emphatic rejection. Put that shot on hold like customer service. So Kotz and Thomas to the scores table for the Eagles. Holloman. Long 2. And Talib Holloman now with 17. He's eclipsed his season average at 15.1. Dieng, Alsey, Duncan negates the screen. Back out Dieng, straight on triple. Seven minutes gone here in the second half. It's a 6-point lead for the Wildcats. Matthews, he's got 21, give him 23. Putting some muscle into his hustle in the interior. And he is carrying the load, the graduate student, coming up in a big way here for Wilmington on the road in the quarterfinals. Duncan, nice thread to Dieng, smoked the layup, gets it back into the thicket of the defense, back to Alsey, and it took a victory lap before dropping through. Alsey gets the baby hook. Back to a 6-point game. Stolen. Dieng inside. That was Saquon Williams getting his hands on the ball. 4-point game. Matthews met in the backcourt by Dieng. And Matthews will catch his breath away from the ball. It's lofted inside to Hedgepeth. Missed the lay. Williams the board and the push. Dieng. Harris. Alcee couldn't hold on to the pass. Matthews the kick, Burton the J. Goes above the backboard. And we are going to take a timeout. Catch your breath. We'll be back here with 11-12 to play in the second half. 61-57, Wilmington. Back out of the timeout, 11-12 to play here in regulation. A 4-point lead for Wilmington, and Caleb Matthews has been the guy for Wilmington. 23 points in 26 minutes, 9 for 13 shooting from the floor. And he's back out on the floor here with Carter, Holloman, Stewart, and Veasley. Something to keep an eye out for. Myrie Stewart, 3 personal fouls on the Wilmington side. Thomas, Akot, Sanders, Warnock, Williams, the 5 on the floor for the Eagles out of the timeouts. Akot. Williams sets for 3. A little too strong. And skying for the rebound is number 23 in black. He's got it right here. Veasley, foul line. Matthews. Triple, not enough. And Veasley, who is 6th in the CACC this season, rebounds per game at 8, collects the board and gets fouled as he comes down with it. Rebound discrepancy is very similar. Wilmington with 28, Post with 26. Wilmington with 14 offensive boards, Post with 11. Wilmington has led for 81% of the game. The number 3 seed in the South Division. Against the home team, the number 2 seed in the North Division. Dribble handoff, Stewart. Turns that corner, gets inside, and lays it in. Myrie Stewart, quick burst of speed. Thomas, extra feed. Worked around the horn to Akot. Takes his man off the dribble. Sprays it out. Williams, in and out on the 3. Stewart tried to split the D there, and they're playing twister on the floor. Jump ball. Possession arrow goes to Wilmington. Dieng back into the game for the Eagles. Burton back into the game for Wilmington. Holloman will sit for the Wildcats, and Williams will sit for the Eagles. A pretty tall lineup out there for the Eagles. Dieng, Thomas, and Warnock all out on the floor together, along with Sanders and Akant in the backcourt. Get that wet spot taken care of. It'll be a side out for the Wildcats. Stewart to trigger.
Let's go, let's go.
Stewart left open, fires off left.
Let's go, let's go.
Eagles down 6. Thomas in the corner, got a 3. Huge triple for Derek Thomas the second. And Stewart is fouled by Sanders in the backcourt. Duncan will check in for Sanders. As Rob picks up another foul. That's his 4th personal foul. He's only got 1 more to play with. Duncan with the stifling pressure in the backcourt. And a tough spot to inbound for Wilmington on that baseline in the corner. Matthews will trigger, gets it into Burton, and gets it right back. Under 9.5 to play in regulation. It's Matthews with 23 in the game. Back to work, Carter inside. Veasley right there for the offensive rebound, back up and in. Malik Veasley with his 6th offensive rebound, his 9th in the game. He was 6th in the conference, as I've mentioned in the broadcast, in rebounds per game in the CACC this season at 8 a game. And he is destroying the Eagles on the offensive rebounds. He's got 7 points to go along with his 9 boards. Warnock missed it. Matthews the board. 2-on-1 developing. Carter, Stewart throws it out of bounds. And Carter wanted the foul on the pass there. And a critical turnover there for Wilmington. Could be talking about a 4 to 5 point swing right there. That was their 6th turnover to Post's 10. Akant wheeling, pushing, scoring. Pretty move by Akant, dancing his way into the lane, and he's got 12. Stewart doubled and fouled. Halsey in, Warnock out, Williams also coming back in, Holloman in, and Matthews will get a breather.
Come on, play D.
Williams checks in for Dieng, as Dieng just picked up his 3rd personal foul. A little foul trouble here for the Eagles. Sanders with 4 personals and Dieng with 3. 8:20 to play in regulation. 65-62 lead for the Wildcats. It's Stewart kicking. Holloman passes up on the 3. Gets it right back to number 23. That pass intercepted by Thomas. It was intended for Veasley. And Akant in and out. Drives. Holloman will slow it down. Carter, the step back J, short. Thomas straight on triple, way off. Holloman with 17 in the game on the wing. Feeds it to Beasley, gets it back. 9 on the shot clock. Stewart fakes on the 3, drives it, hangs, scores! Oh, Myrie Stewart with a flurry of moves. And Wilmington back up 5 with under 7 to play in regulation. LeConte. Alsey. 3. Oh, it hangs off the front of the iron. Back out to Cont. He'll try it from 3. Missed everything. A rare 3 there from Alsey. Only 1 for 3 from downtown on the year, and we will take a timeout with 6:36 to play in regulation. 67-62 Wilmington. You are watching the CACC quarterfinals on the CACC network. Back out of the timeout. 6:36 to play in regulation. 67-62 lead for Wilmington. As this is the second matchup of the year. They played right here at the Drumner Center on February 10th, where the Eagles won in overtime 80-78. And if you were here at that game or were tuning into the broadcast, the Eagles were down 60-49 with 4 minutes and 54 seconds left. So they were able to come back from that. This is nothing compared to that deficit. As we are back out of the timeout, Stewart, Beasley, Burton, Matthews, and Holloman, the 5 on the floor here for the Wildcats. And for the Eagles, it is Thomas, Dieng, Harris, Alsey, and Williams. Matthews under the basket, throws it into Beasley and gets it right back. Matthews with 23 points, leading the game in scoring. Holloman coming off of an off-the-ball screen, drives, and he dragged that pivot foot. A turnover from Wilmington, costly, as that is the 8th turnover for the Wildcats. The Eagles will take over. LeConte leading the way with 12. He's on the bench, and Warnock with 10, the other Eagle in double figures with 10. He's on the bench as well. Williams finds Dieng. Across the lane, floats it. Alsey right there for the offensive rebound, and he gets fouled by Beasley going back up with it. Alsey with his 7th rebound of the game, his 4th offensive. And he'll shoot his first free throws of the game. Alsey 31 for 48 from the free throw line on the year. Sanders and LeConte back in. Harris and Thomas out. Again, a friendly reminder that Rob Sanders has 4 personal fouls. So in NCAA basketball, 5 and you are out. So the junior from Naugatuck has 1 more to play with. Alsey. Straight music on both free throws. Clutch from the line. 67-64. This playoff game a little reminiscent of that game on February 10th. A nice double thrown out to Stewart. 3-on-2. Beasley, Holloman, hangs and finishes. Ooh, that was Michael Jordan-esque, hanging in the air and laying it in. Gorgeous finish by Holloman. Sanders coming off of the screen. Nearly has it taken away and does momentarily, but Stewart could not garner it. And we have an issue with the shot clock, I believe. 5:25 remaining in regulation. Eagles 42% from the floor. Wildcats 46% from the floor. Alcee will check out. On the floor here for the Eagles, it is Williams, Akot, Dieng, Warnock, and Sanders. The officials at the score table conversing. Just making sure our game clock and shot clock is correct. It'll be a side out for Post. The freshman from Brockton, Massachusetts will trigger it in. Gets it right back. Turns that corner, drives, flips it up, left it short. Off the front iron, and Beasley has the board. Beasley now with 10 rebounds, excuse me. Matthews. Stewart spins. Blocked but a foul. Called on Dieng. And Stewart, who is 3 for 4 from the foul line, will head there for his third trip of the game. Again, the women's quarterfinal matchup coming up next right here at the Drumner Center. Tip-off is scheduled for 7:30. They are playing against Goldie Beacom. Stewart had 20 points on that game right here at the Drumner Center on February 10th. Played 28 minutes. Good on both free throws. It's a 7-point lead for the Wildcats. Under 5 to play. Dieng. Duncan. He's back into the game, tries to thread the needle, dangerous pass. Sanders has it miraculously. It's thrown cross court, Akot. And Wilmington off of the forced turnover. Burton will settle it down. Beasley. Holloman. Tied up by Warnock, jump ball, possession arrow, Eagles. Great defense there by Harry Warnock. And Thomas will check in for Duncan. A trip to the semifinals on the line. Wilmington 4 minutes and 15 seconds away from either facing Jefferson or Felician. Akot drives. Thomas. Dieng, 10 on the shot clock. Dieng hesitates, takes it inside, high off the window, left it a little too strong. Sanders right there for the offensive rebound and lay-in. Big time offensive board for the junior. 3:45 to play in regulation. Warnock got his hands on it. Dieng the theft. Sanders, the drive, had it poked free out of bounds by Stewart. And we will take a timeout. 3:39 to play in regulation. The CACC quarterfinals coming down to the wire. Wilmington a 5-point lead. Back out of the Dan Burke timeout, 3:39 to play here in regulation. 71-66 lead for the Wildcats. A trip to the semifinals on the line. It's Thomas, Sanders, Akot, Dieng, Warnock, 5 on the floor here for the Eagles. Stewart, Holloman, Burton, Beasley, and Matthews, the 5 for the Wildcats. It's into Warnock. The cross, the drive, muscles his way inside. Baby hook is good. Warnock now with 12. One possession game. And a lot of contact there between Sanders and Stewart. Sanders has been in the middle of a lot of scuffles here in this game, and just not the time to try and get into a brouhaha here. As both teams are going to go to their benches here. As the foul is going to go against Sanders, I believe, and if that's the case, that's his 5th personal foul. He is done. So yeah, Robert Sanders just picked up his 5th personal foul. He is fouled out. And it's Aquan Williams in his spot. Matthews will inbound, gets it into Burton. Matthews, Burton, Stewart, Holloman, Beasley. The starting 5 on the floor here for the Wildcats. Akot, Dieng, Williams, Thomas, and Warnock. The 5 for the Eagles. It's into Stewart in the mid-post. Backing his way down, working on Thomas. Stewart. That's going to be an offensive foul. Stewart picks up his 4th. Eagles an opportunity to tie the game with a 3. Coming up on 3 minutes to play in regulation. Akot threw it off the head there of Williams, puts it on the deck. Poked out of bounds. Eagles will inbound under the basket. Williams gets it into Dieng. Dieng across the lane. Missed the lay, back up, and he's fouled.
Let's go, Dieng. Let's go.
Dieng 2 for 2 from the foul line. Ended the regular season shooting it at a 75.8% clip.
Let's go, yo.
69 for 91 from the charity stripe for the junior from St. Cloud, Minnesota. Too strong on the first. Back end of 2 is up and through. It is a 2-point game, 2:50 to play in regulation. Stewart is doubled, nearly has it taken away. Strong with the ball there, and Burton throws it out to Holloman. Burton thought about the 3. Chance of defense. Holloman backdoor. Beasley the board and is fouled. Another rebound for Malik Beasley, his 11th of the game, his 7th offensive. And it'll be a 1-on-1 as Wilmington is in the bonus. Beasley, a 61% free throw shooter. He is 1 for 2 here in this game. Nails the first of 2. Or not first of 2, pardon me. It's a 1-on-1. He earns himself one more at the line. This one would put Wilmington up by 2 possessions. And it's good. 4-point lead for the Wildcats. 2:20 to play in regulation. Dieng muscles his way inside and one! Dang Dieng, who has struggled all game, 3 for 16 now from the floor with 9 points, and it might be time for the first team All-CACC selection for the Eagles to turn up. Three-point play completed. It's a 1-point game. Three-on-one. Holloman brings it back out. Eagles get back swiftly. We've hit the 2-minute mark here in regulation. Again, the women's are coming up next. They'll play against Goldie Beacom in their quarterfinal matchup. The men's trying to keep their season alive. Matthews, who's got 23. Beasley, the mid-range. Back iron. Rebound, Akot. Eagles can take the lead. Williams spins. Williams drives. Feeds for Warnock, who finishes. Eagles with the lead. Timeout. Dan Burke with 4 seconds on the shot clock. This crowd is alive here at the Drumner Center. 1:08 to play. Eagles with a 1-point lead. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Division II men's basketball, and it's on the CACC network. Trip to the semifinals on the line. Back out of the timeout. The Eagles, who have only led for 13% of the game, have the lead 74-73 with 1:09 to play. If you're just tuning in, Robert Sanders for the Eagles has 5 personal fouls. He's fouled out with 9 points. Stewart, Matthews, Beasley, Holloman, Burton. 5 on the floor for Wilmington. Dieng, Akot, Williams, Thomas, Warnock. 5 for the Eagles. Matthews fadeaway is short. Williams aboard. And it's hit out of bounds. They say last touch of Kotz. But it appeared that Holloman hit it out last, and you can hear the reaction from the fans here at the Drubner Center. .102 to play here in regulation. Wilmington might have gone a break. And let's see if they can pay it off. It's Stewart, the cross, the drive. Blocked out of bounds. Dieng and Stewart, the two first-team All-CACC selections matching up. 11 on the shot clock. Stewart into Beasley, gets it right back. Quick drive. It's loose. Holloman up and down for the lead. Eagles down 1. Under 40 seconds to play in regulation. You have to think that the ball either needs to be in Akat's or Dieng's hands. Warnock 3! Eagles need to foul. The shot clock is off. And Dieng picks it up on Stewart. And we will get a timeout on the floor. As Dane Dieng just picked up his 4th personal foul. And we will stay on the air here. 20.4 remaining in regulation. Wilmington ball coming out of the timeouts. As a team this year, they have shot 71.7% from the free throw line. No, pardon me, Dieng just picked up his 5th personal foul. So the first team All-CACC selection is done along with Robert Sanders. On the Eagles bench, and it'll be Amiri Stewart, who's 5 for 6 from the free throw line to shoot a 1-and-1. Calm, cool, and collected. He nails the first. Two for 2. 3-point lead for Wilmington. Eagles call for time as Williams brings it across the timeline. 17.5 remaining in regulation. It's a 3-point cushion for Wilmington. We'll step aside here for just a moment on the CACC Network. Three-point lead for Wilmington, 17.5 remaining in regulation. Eagles ball coming out of the Mark Kuntz timeout. The Eagles don't necessarily need a 3, but if you have an open look, you might as well take it. Down by 3. Duncan, Williams, Warnock, Thomas, and Akatz. The 5 on the floor for Post. Akatz drives, hangs, and misses. Rebound, Bull. And he's fouled on the floor. And it'll be a 1-and-1. A lot of time taken off of that possession. And it'll be a 1-and-1 for the second team All-CACC selection. And we will take a quick timeout, but we'll stay here on the air with 5.8 remaining in the second half. And for Bollicott, 4 for 5 from the free throw line here tonight. 120 for 164 on the year. He has shot the most free throws by anyone on the Eagles team by a large margin. And you wonder here if you make the first and then try and miss the seconds, because there's just not a whole lot of time left, and it's not the NBA where you can advance the ball off of a timeout. Time is not on the Eagles' side. The first is good. And it's a little peculiar. Williams is in there instead of Thomas to try and box out. Acott makes the second. Timeout, Dan Burke, 77-76. 5.8 remaining in regulation here in the CACC quarterfinals. And for the Eagles, it's all about trying to get a steal out of the timeout. Again, no Robert Sanders, no Dang Dieng. They are both fouled out with 5 personal fouls. Dieng exited with 10 points, 7 boards, 4 assists, 3 blocks, and a steal. And for Sanders, he exited with 9 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. You have to try and get a steal off of the inbound pass here if you are post. And if you cannot get it, you need to immediately foul, as there's just not a whole lot of time left here. 5.8 again. The women's are up next following the conclusion of this game. They're up against Goldie Beacom, as the Eagles were North Division champions in the regular season as they secured the first seed. The women's, that is. They will try and punch their ticket to the semifinals right after this game. The Eagles for post on the men's side, in desperate need of a steal here. The ball is going to be inbounded in a favorable spot for the Eagles. This is just a tough spot to inbound if you are Wilmington, because not only are you throwing it on that baseline, but it's on the hoop that the Eagles score in. So if you turn it over, Eagles have it in their front court. They line up like it's trips for wide receivers. And Matthews calls another timeout. Nice pressure there by the Eagles. And Burke will call another time. I like that out of bounds look there. They set up like it was trips for a Hail Mary and kind of ran a wide receiver route there with the 2 players outside and then one cutting back in. So coming right back out of another timeout for Dan Burke. And if you could try and get it to someone, you might want to get it to Amiri Stewart, who is 7 for 8 from the free throw line. Holloman is also 4 for 4. And Bryson Williams, who's an excellent shooter, is on the floor here for Wilmington. It's Beasley, Matthews, Williams, Burton, and Holloman. The 5 on the floor here for Wilmington. Holloman to trigger, and an offensive foul. Acott took a shot. Beasley picks up the personal. And that is Beasley's 5th personal foul. He is done. So Stewart and Beasley are both fouled out. Asher Kemble now in the spot of Malik Beasley. Caleb Hedgepeth is now in the spot for Kemble, it appears. So wow, what a turn of events right there. A crucial foul goes against Beasley, and the Eagles will have the ball with 5.8 remaining here in regulation, a chance to win it. Didn't see the contact there. I was looking at the other side of the court, and it happened on that far side. LaCotte took the shot, and Beasley picks up the personal. So Beasley exits with 9 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, and 4 steals. Again, Amiri Stewart, he's fouled out with 18 points. Duncan, Thomas, Warnock, Akot, and Williams on the floor here for the Eagles. Duncan to trigger, into Akot with 3, with 2. Akot inside, hangs, scoops, and scores! Bull Akot says, I do this, and do. Unbelievable. Eagles have a 1-point lead. And a free throw here for the junior. Not a game winner because there's 1.7 remaining. He knocks down the free throw to give the Eagles a 2-point lead. Matthews will inbound under the basket, throws it into Burton. He hoists. Oh, he almost banks it in. The Eagles are going to the semifinals off of a heroic last-second bucket by Bull Akot. What a game. An instant classic here at the Drumner Center. Eagles led for 13% of the game, and they pull out the 79-77 victory. The same margin of victory they beat Wilmington in on February 10th. Unbelievable. Speechless. Bull Akot, the game-winning layup, and the Eagles miraculously are moving on to the semifinals. What a game. This one will go down in post-university basketball history as the defeated and emotional Wilmington Wildcats walk off of the floor in disbelief. We'll have the post-game interview coming up with Bull Akot, the hero for the Eagles. And after that, it'll be post-university women's basketball in their quarterfinal matchup against Goldie Beacom. We'll have the post-game interview coming up next. Griffin Cass alongside junior guard Bolacott. Post advancing to the semifinals with a 79-77 win over the Wilmington Wildcats. Bull, 5.8 seconds are left. You guys inbounded on the side out. Take me through that final play.
I knew once we got the offensive foul, I just told myself 5 seconds was too much time on the clock. We've been in a lot of situations throughout the season with game winners and tight situations like that. I just knew 5 seconds was way too much time.
So you guys only led for 13% of the game. How does the relentlessness from this squad pull out the victory here today?
We're just very resilient as a team. We definitely go on runs. Other teams go on runs, and we just stay resilient and we keep fighting. We didn't play as hard as we usually do today, but I mean, great teams show up when it matters.
Now I could read your lips after you got that game-winning bucket. You were saying, "I do this." Can you just speak on the confidence that is able to elevate your game?
I just have confidence in myself because if I don't have confidence in myself, no one else will. And I get the confidence from my teammates and from my coaches, and that just boosts my confidence even more.
Bola, moment I'm sure you'll never forget in your basketball career. Post is heading to play against Jefferson in the semifinals at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Bull, thanks so much time for. Thank you for taking some time after the game. Enjoy the win.
Thanks.
Congrats, man. That was awesome. Appreciate it.